Hey folks, welcome back to the garage. Today we're going to go over every step it takes to hook up your stock gauges to your Coyote swap Mustang. In this case, this is a Gen 2 Coyote with the Ford PCM kit. Specifically, we'll be doing the oil pressure gauge, the coolant temperature sensor, and the tachometer. Before we get started, I just want to mention, for some stupid reason, when I was in my 20s and I parted this the engine out, I had sold part of the wiring harness with it, which involved part of the harness that goes to the gauges, which I believe is mostly these over here. I also did a wire tuck, so this is coming across here for this. This engine starts, so we're good there, just the gauges don't work inside. We'll be looking at which wires we need to work on here. I have a full video on taking this harness apart and reluming it. So those two stumps, I'm not sure what this one is for over here, but that one I believe is for the gauges. For the gauges that we are working on, they wire directly to the dashboard, and we'll be using Foxbody sensors. So this is pretty easy, except for the tack. There's one little thing that we need to do for that. You're gonna need a Foxbody style oil pressure sender, but I'll put everything in the description. This is also a kit from LMR. This takes out the stock Coyote, and then you can screw in the Fox style sender. The only thing is you do have to thread seal this, so we'll do that as well. And then there's this, the Tachometer 9117 tack adapter. Let's get started with the oil pressure, and then we'll move on to the coolant temperature sensor. Now, if you are smarter than me, you probably have your wires still intact. I believe, I'm gonna link a document in the description. It says that the white wire with red on it, now I don't have a white wire with red, I have a red wire with white, but this is for the coolant temperature sensor. So this, I believe, is for the oil pressure. All right, so let's do the oil sensor first. Your oil pressure sensor on the Coyote is right behind the alternator here. You'll see that there's also this plug over here. That's what we're going to use for the water jacket. This is a 1/16 inch socket. Threads going into the block are 1/4 NPT. Might get a little bit of oil coming out of here. Yep. And now, ideally, this should thread right in. Okay. And this is a 9/16. This is a 9/16. One thing to note is that by unhooking this, you are removing the Coyote's PCM from knowing what your oil pressure is. I don't know if that gives you a check engine light or what. Might not, but you won't be able to get live data if you use a code scanner. Okay. Now, you do want to keep this because this goes to your oxygen sensors, but let's just move it out of the way for now. See? All right, it's 14 mil. Wow, okay. Let's try a breaker bore. Oh, wow. Apologies if you can't see anything. Okay. Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, wow, that stinks. It's the water jacket, all right, though. We've got this that goes in first, but needs to be thread sealed. So let's put a little thread sealer on there. I use Permatex. I absolutely love it. All right. Let's put you in first. Honestly, I should have done this before the oil pressure gauge. This too is a 1/16 inch socket. Yeah, see how close that is? You can do this before you put the oil filter in too. That works as well. Okay, I think that's good. Now it should be set up to take a Foxbody. Oh my god, what a mess. Now this can go in here like this. There we go. 17 mil. A Don't want to over tighten. Let's see. Make sure that doesn't leak. Continue to leak. So now we hook those two up to the gauges, and then we're all set. Now I'm probably going to come back and put this on an extension that comes out, and then put the stock one up on the end here, and this one coming off down this way. Should we do that now, actually? So I found these connectors, and with a little adjustment, they are able to just push right over to the ends of them. And we'll hook these up to some wire and bring these back to where we need them. Which color we use doesn't really matter at the moment, but we just have to make sure that we connect it to the right place. Okay, I am going to loom this like I said, but for now, we're going to test this. This will push onto here, and this will push onto, okay. I am going to come up this way. I'll probably make some kind of connection here. And for now, let's wrap you around there. Right. Through the grommet. So now these, yellow is oil. Now, like I said, I bought a 3-prong connector. They're pre-terminated, so I'm going to do that eventually. For now, I am going to solder these on, because these will act as extensions. So let's do that really quick. I don't want to bend these old wires too far, or else they'll crack. Give that a minute, and we'll give it a tug test. Tug test. It's pretty good. Quick change of plans on the oil adapter. I'm going to use this T that I have. Preload this a little bit. Let's see if we can get this onto the block, and then these put into this. And there's thread seal on there. Okay, perfect. We could snake you in here. Oh, that's gonna be tight. Here, let's do this. I'm going to tighten this on the bench. I'll be right back. Okay. Get this back in. Running out. It's not good. I like this stuff. Alright, so let's do that. 17 mil. There we go. Oh, look at all this room for activities. Alright, next step is to get this around here, around the outside, and down onto here. There we go. Oh yeah. Look at that. I'm going to get this on here. You don't need to watch that. I put a ring connector on here, and then I put this, this is a drywall anchor. But it is pressing this against here, so I'm just going to tighten up a little bit more, and then we should be good here. Temporary, I'm going to try to find a nut for this, and then when I do, this will be fine. But until then, this will have to do. One quick note, this is a little tight over here, so I'm going to loosen. There's one more Christmas tree up on the valve cover. I'm going to loosen that. The reason why is because when you rev the engine, it moves a little bit. And there's a little bit of movement in here, so it should be okay, but still want it to rip out. Alright, so now the tachometer. My understanding is you want to grab this outside purple wire. You want the red to go on this side of it, and the red-green to go on this side of it, and then you just got to ground it. So that would be red going that way, this going that way, and then that passes through here. This will ground somewhere close, and then this hooks up to that dark green and yellow wire in the dash, and then you have a working tack. The only thing is where am I gonna put this? I would like to mount this over here somewhere, For now, I might just hook it up onto this. I don't really feel like taking this apart right now. So I might just kind of leave it up here at the moment. But yeah, I'm gonna permanently mount this. Ideally, maybe I can get like a piece of metal and then mount it to this and then mount that to these. I'll have to figure that out, but for now, let's work on this. Just gonna be very careful. If you have a thread ripper, it's even better because that protects the integrity of the wire. The more room you can give yourself, the better. Outside purple wire, here we go. Like that. Okay. Tug test. That's good, tug test. Perfect, okay. Next up is a ground. I'm just gonna use this ground for now. This is one that we had. I have another engine ground a little closer that we can use. But for now, this is what we will use. There we go. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna tape all this up. Tape it all back up, that is. We're in a critical testing phase right now. So this is just for testing. I just gotta make sure that this works. And that's tapped. All right, we're gonna give this a test. Remember, coolant is not gonna work because there's really no coolant in the engine. Hell yeah. Oil pressure, tack. That's gonna be nothing until we're done. Sweet. It's the next day, but let's wrap this one up. I just wanted to mention a couple of things. I wasn't able to really find where the stock tachometer wire comes out of. Like, I know it's the dark green with the yellow coming out of there, and that's what I tapped into yesterday. I think it connects to the ECU, so I would expect it to come along one of these, but this, I mean, there's like candidates, right? Like this is like a light green, but these go to the door, so that's not it. And then there's other stuff in here that's not hooked up. Like I'd be looking for something that's not hooked up. So it's somewhere, I mean, I might look into some of these, but I want a wire going across here, obviously. I'm gonna come up probably through here and then across underneath here, and then bring this across over there. I'm not gonna do that in this video, of course. And let me also try to get you a better view of this wiretap, because I was going over the video and I saw how bad it was. I just wiretapped that directly into this, which is dark green with yellow, and then it turns orange up here. Maybe that's something I need to look out for. I'm not sure. So I'm gonna bring this wire across that way. That'll be in a follow-up permanent wiring video. So for the other gauges, obviously the stock fuel, even though it was showing full, I don't have it hooked up in the tank in the back there. I just have to get the stock harnesses back in and we should be back in business. The voltage gauge obviously reads directly from the fuse box, and it was reading low because the alternator is not hooked up. So whenever the alternator is hooked up, you'll probably see that jump up quite a bit. And of course, the stock speedo, when we get closer to installing the transmission, I'll go over the gear size that we select and everything. Also wanted to mention that there's other options like the Dakota digital dash. It's expensive, but it's probably really worth it. I'm probably going to do it eventually, especially considering, like, take a look at my gauges. I don't know if you can see it, but see how it's kind of like the orange paint, well, not on that side, but on this side the orange paint kind of, maybe it's the black paint that's on top of it, I don't know, but it doesn't look great. And this is kind of like, it's gross. So the idea would be at some point to switch to the Dakota digital gauges, but I've already spent so much money on this that, like, I gotta get rolling first before we spend any more crazy money on it. But you can see hooking this up wasn't that difficult, so you have options for your budget. Observability into your engine's functionality is super important, so whatever you do is good. I'm also really happy that we went with the double oil pressure gauge. It actually made the Foxbody one a little bit more easy to access to get a wrench on. But we'll see when we're moving stuff around, the power steering pump might get in the way, because I think with the power by the hour brackets, the power steering pump goes down there. But we'll find out. If we gotta move stuff again, we will. Again, check the description for all the parts that I used in this. I have a couple more videos that I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna probably end up hitting a bit of a brick wall when it comes to the transmission. Finances this year have kind of gotten in the way for me. So I have a bunch of parts that I can do. So we'll do a clutch, we'll do a couple more, at least one more wiring video where I'll go over everything that we've done so far, and we'll do the harnesses for these gauges. Yeah, there might be a little bit of a break, or I might just do some resto stuff. Not sure yet, we'll see. This video was helpful, drop me a like. Consider subscribing. As always, I really appreciate you watching. Always build responsibly, and I will see you next time. I know wiring is probably one of the most boring things ever, but if you are interested in doing this to your car, see why it might be somewhat interesting. I thought I was done with all the leaks in this thing, but nope, I was wrong. Oh. Jesus, scared the hell out of me. That white box is the door chime. I have a little project I want to do for that. Stay tuned.